What's up, amigos? Welcome back to a new Dive in Live tutorial. And today we're going to talk about tight loops or snappy drum loops. It's especially in house and a more minimal house, it's really important that your loops are tight. You don't use too long hi-hats just to make it super snappy and tight. It's also important in other, it's a nice trick to use in other styles as well. I'll be showing you some plugins today that you can use for this, or how to use some Ableton techniques in the audio clips to get there. To start off, we have this loop. Just a loop, nothing fancy, but you can hear that the clap's a bit long and the hi-hat here. Now I could go into this hi-hat and find the hi-hat and go to classic mode in the simpler and change the release and sustain to make it shorter. That's also an option, of course, but sometimes you want to treat the whole bundle as a whole. So if I go to drums, you see I have the SPL Transient Designer and the Transient Master from Native Instruments. And the SPL comes from the Plugins Alliance bundle that I have. And it's a great tool to make your drums sound more snappy. So check out what happens to the drums if I apply the sustain all the way back. And what it does to the groove. So it makes it super snappy. You can also add more attack. I usually have it just to sustain. You can also use it like a sort of like expander. And you have a dry wet now. But it's really nice to create some sort more of a snappy kind of feel. Especially if you're like into the tech house or minimal house kind of stuff, that really works. The other one is the Transient Master from Native Instruments, which does the same. I myself prefer the SPL. Sorry, Native. This one is also snappy, but it sounds a bit less round or something. The smooth button makes it also a bit nicer. So the Transient Master is also an option to tighten your drums a bit. So this is a nice way to get more snappy drums. The other one, I have a loop here. Which is a bit messy, you know, you can really hear. It messes it up a bit. So what we can do is maybe also select everything and then use the quantize 100%, quantize everything, and then give it the same swing as we were using in this track, the Logic 1663. For more info on this, watch the previous tutorial. And now it's going to be a bit more into the groove. But of course we have this little guy here, the transients. And you can have the transient not to loop, it just every segment plays to its ends and then stops, as you can see in the info view here, this one. And so if I take this down, it will actually sort of like make the decay go down, you know. So if you listen to this to the sound, so this way you get super snappy drums. And now it's a really nice groove. So this way you can create super snappy drums, like a bit more tight, which will give you a bit more of a clean groove, which will work way better on the dance floor, and just gives you more space into your mix to have other things going on. I prefer, not always, depends on what you're making. If you're making like a classic Chicago house track, you usually have this long open hi-hats. But you know, you can also have one open hat and the rest way more snappy to really give you that tight and interesting groove. So I hope this helps. It's a short and powerful tutorial for you to check out and then immediately apply the information. It's very important that you watch these tutorials and then immediately do it yourself. Therefore, my tutorials are never too long. If you like what I do, check out lessonsinlife.com. There's free preset packs, not free sample packs, but there's also sample packs. There's some masterclasses you can check. And I just hope you enjoyed the content, and I'll see you at the next one.